What are the best bottles of bourbon to impress a guest under $100? Let's find out. What's going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today I have a really interesting video. Last week I uploaded my top 5 Reddit only keep 5 bourbons, and in that video you have to have an impress your guest bourbon, and that was probably one of my most difficult bottles to choose. So I wanted to come out with a video that had 5 bottles that you would impress a guest with that are under $100, so you don't have to break the bank to impress a guest. So, like I said, we have a little bit of a criteria. It has to be under $100, and none of these are Buffalo Trace products. So without further ado, let's get into bottle number 1. Bottle number 1 is going to go to Old Forester Single Barrel Strength. Now, if you don't know what bottles these are the ones with the blue labels. These are the ones that are barrel strength. They are the single barrels. And man, oh man, they are absolutely fantastic. They're right at that $80 to $100 mark, and they fit the criteria perfectly. They're under $100. It's not Buffalo Trace product. It will impress a guest like you wouldn't believe, and it will impress you like you wouldn't believe. These bottles are absolutely fantastic, and I recommend these like you wouldn't believe. Bottle number 2. Bottle number 2, as I had in that original video, goes to Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Strength. Now these bottles right here, just like the Old Foresters, are single barrels. They're barrel strength. The proof differs on every single bottle. This one right here just happens to be the most proofy bottle that I have on my shelf. And if you want banana bread, if you want banana pudding, if you want anything specifically banana in a bourbon and you want to impress somebody with it, these bottles right here are going to be so banana forward that it is absolutely fantastic. I do know that some people don't like that kind of bourbon, and it is somewhat of an acquired taste for some people. But I think that these Jack Daniel barrel strength single barrels are absolutely fantastic and will impress any guest that you pour it for. Before we get into bottle number 3, make sure you guys are dropping likes, comments, and subscribing down below. Unfortunately, the Eagles lost yesterday in the Super Bowl, so I will not be having the pour of the Van Winkle. So for me to have a pour of that Van Winkle, we have to hit 5,000 subscribers, and I would love to absolutely bring you guys a review of that Van Winkle. So make sure you guys are dropping comments and subscribing down below so that we can hit 5,000 subscribers as fast as possible. We are also doing a giveaway for 5,000 subscribers, so if you want to hear about that, stay tuned because that's coming in the near future. But bottle number 3 goes to... Bottle number 3 goes to a pair of bourbons. Now these come out usually twice a year, but last year it came out once in the year. Now these are the Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Select Series that is strictly given out by Maker's Mark. Now these are the BRT 01 and 02s from 2022. You have the FAE 01 and 2 from 2021. Not quite sure what the lettering will be for 2023. I've heard rumors that they're actually not even doing it, but I think that this year might be the last year. Who knows what they're doing? I don't. Only they do, and the select few that hear the rumors. But these are absolutely fantastic pours for right at that $60 mark. They are going to be barrel strength. Now these are lower proof barrel strengths. They're 109.4, I believe, but yeah, both of them are 109.4. And they're 2 completely distinct bourbons in their own right. You know, I mean, both of them were finished in different areas of the rick houses. They're both 2 completely different bottles of bourbon, but both are absolutely fantastic. And some people might not be able to get their hands on them, and if you can, and for a $60 bottle of bourbon, it's definitely one that will impress any guest that you pour it for. All right, so we're moving into bottle number 4. Bottle number 4 goes to 2XO by Dixon Deadman. This is right here, the Phoenix Blend. This is a double oaked bottle of bourbon at 104 proof. And we don't specifically know the age statement of the barrels that were dumped for the small batch. But I will tell you this, it's not one of those bourbons that is absolutely fantastic and out of this world. What this bourbon is it's a fantastic double oaked bourbon to introduce people into what double oaked bourbons can be. And I've said that to many people, and after they've had it, they've absolutely enjoyed it. It's lower proof, but it does double oaked bourbon right. This is one of those bourbons that is absolutely fantastic, and I'll stand by that statement until this bottle's empty and I get another one, because I've seen them on shelves and they do run right around that $90 mark. It does sometimes hit that $99 mark, but that's still under the $100 mark that I gave myself as a criteria. But let's move into bottle number 5. Bottle number 5 goes to Widow Jane Decadence. Now this right here is one of the sweetest bottles of bourbon that I have had, and it's not overly sweet. I was scared originally picking this bottle up, but it was one of those original unicorns that I was searching because of how many people recommended it to me, because of the maple barrel finish that this bottle has. It's the Widow Jane regular 10-year bourbon finished in maple syrup barrels. And man, oh man, I'm telling you right now, it's not overly sweet. It's very, very delicate. It's a very, very complex bourbon. And the more it sits in the glass, it sits in your mouth, the more you start to enjoy it. The more that this bottle is getting empty, the more it's opening up. It is one of my absolute favorite bottles of bourbon for under $100. And I have impressed so many people with this bottle that they're hunting it, they're searching it. And I know a lot of you, when I did my original video on the Widow Jane Decadence, so many of you were scared because of the supposed sweetness that it might have had. And they've absolutely loved it. So I will stand by this bottle and say that it is one of my absolute favorites that impresses people like you wouldn't believe. So there you guys have it. Those are my 5 bottles of bourbon that are under $100, that aren't Buffalo Trace products, that will impress any guest that comes over your place, that say you're trying to introduce to bourbon, that are bourbon aficionados like ourselves, that possibly don't have any of these bottles that you want to introduce them to, or ones that, hey, they have these bottles, but they come over your house and you have this bottle and they're impressed that you have it, and you want to pour it for them, even though they already have it. But at the end of the day, you enjoy the bourbon that you enjoy, and you want to pour the bourbon that you want to pour for somebody. If you have a George T. Stagg 2011 and you want to pour it for somebody to impress them, by all means, go for it. I mean, if you want to send me a sample of a 2011 George T. Stagg to impress me, by all means, go for it. But hey, let me know down in the comments what your top 5 bourbons to impress a guest are that are under $100 and that are not Buffalo Trace products. I want to see those comments down below. Until next time, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.